Good day, I'm Richard Burgeon. I'm the Veterans Counselor here for the Employment and Outreach Services. And this with me today is Portia Shaw from Securitas.
Hello.
Portia is our Human Resources Representative and Securitas is our community partner in employment in the security industry. We'd also like to point out that Securitas was last year our Employer of the Year. So we're very proud that we had Portia come and visit with us today. So Portia, I'm here to ask you a few questions. I hope you don't mind.
Oh no, I came for the questions.
Great. I just want to find out a little bit more, first of all, about Securitas. Where do they come from? Where are they locally? What kind of things do they do? That kind of a thing. So do you want to just give us a start?
Sure. So Securitas was originally created in Sweden in 1934. Securitas is a worldwide company, and we are located in five countries around the world. Securitas, and for Rochester, we provide the service that allows us to monitor lobbies, industrial facilities, parking areas, and so much more. We monitor areas as far as Rochester, Geneseo, Webster, in the inner city, on the outskirts, and our region is New York, New Jersey, but we are broken down into parts of the state, and Rochester's branch is a part of upstate New York. So with that being said, we definitely provide positions across the upstate New York area.
Can you tell us a little bit about what types of positions you do have?
So we have positions that require you to do patrols in parking lots, patrols throughout the buildings, which will be a manual tour. We have concierge, lobby, security operations centers, and a few other positions that, things like Monroe County. Those positions there, we have the requirements of you having to have 3-year guard experience or military experience or police enforcement experience. So depending on what position you're looking at, it depends on what the requirements are that allows me to make the offer based off of your experience.
Sounds intriguing. Can you give me a little bit of an idea as to some of the positions that are available, some of the training involved, that kind of a thing?
So right now what we have is security operations centers which would require you to have some computer experience. It would also require you to be able to communicate efficiently, be able to follow security operation procedures. We also have positions with our Monroe County contract, which will require you to either have 3-year guard experience, military, or police enforcement experience. With those positions, that's either full-time or part-time, or if you accept the position, you'd be at a particular site. During COVID-19, we had a few of the Monroe County locations closed down because of COVID. Everybody was practicing social distancing. During that time, we had to pick up a few extra contracts with the Monroe County, and we were able to staff those positions. In lieu of us being able to staff those positions, we were able to actually get some of those positions permanently. So I am looking for a decent amount of hires for the Monroe County positions particularly.
That's great. Well, what kind of training does Securitas offer to get people into these different positions?
So we do provide the 8-hour pre-assignment course, which is the class that is required for you to have to obtain your guard license. And we also provide the 16-hour on-the-job training course. Prior to hire, I will provide a training schedule for both of those classes if needed, in the event that they accept a position or they're accepted to a site. So as long as they're accepted to a position, we'll be able to get them in any training that is required to hire.
That's terrific. I just have an opportunity now to give a little plug for the Veterans Outreach Center and let people know that we also have the ability to get people into classes so that they can get their 8-hour pre-assigned, as well as get fingerprinting and get their licensure fees paid for as well. So please consider either talking to Portia about that or talking to one of us at the Veterans Outreach Center. Nonetheless, it sounds like you've got direct connections throughout the community, and it sounds like those connections that you have in the community are going to be there for quite some time. So can you talk about some of the employees you already do have? I mean, how long have some of them been there? And
So I like to use one of our district managers now as an example. He's been with the company for 35 years, and he started off as a patrol security officer at one of our locations that we currently have now. Securitas obtained 3 security companies, which were Pinkerton, Doyle, and Burns throughout the last 20 years or so. So our district manager, Ken, he started off as a patrol officer at this particular site. He moved up to the Security Operations Center at that same location. He then became the account manager at that same location, which in the end, he became the district manager. I also like to point out that last year for 2019, he became the district manager of the year.
wow.
So there's definitely growth and longevity within Securitas. I like to point out myself as well. I started off as a part-time overnight lobby guard, and throughout the years I was a full-time lobby guard. I was cross-trained at all of the lobbies for that particular location. I worked in the Security Operations Center at that location as well, and it will be 2 years in November that I have been the recruiter for Securitas. I started with Securitas in 2013.
Wow.
So as long as you are willing to provide the need that you want to grow, we will be able to supply you with enough training to help you grow.
Wonderful. And do you have both full-time and part-time positions?
Yes, we have full-time and part-time positions. We have part-time and full-time positions in the southern tier area for Securitas, which is our Canandaigua, Geneseo, and Perry area. We also have full-time positions in Webster and in the inner city. We have 2 full-time positions in Henrietta that require you to have at least 6 months guard experience. So, and we also have part-time positions in the inner city at this time. So we have positions all over the place. I am looking for people that are really ready and willing to work, and also just interested in extending a career with the security industry.
Nice. And as far as the range where all of these different places go, it sounds like you need a car full-time to get a position with you, or no?
So no, transportation, we do have a lot of positions in the inner city that allow us to provide you with a position knowing that you can take a bus. If you have your own vehicle, that's great. If you're on the bus line, that's great. If you Uber, that's great. Just knowing that you have a reliable way to get to and from your position is what we look at. I do offer based off of how you're able to get to work as well. I take a few things into consideration as hiring, and that is your transportation, your experience, and your availability. Those are the 3 things that I look at based off of how I am going to offer a position to an applicant.
Wow. And just so those folks that are listening to us know, as of July 15th of this year, all veterans will be able to ride on RTS buses for free. But you do need to have a bus pass that signifies that you are a veteran. And the bus pass has to be an RTS bus pass, which you can get right down here at the Veterans Outreach Center. All it takes is probably 15 to 20 minutes of your time, and come and visit with us, and we can see what we can do about getting some transportation going so that you can get gainful employment with our friends here at Securitas. So one last question, I suppose, would be the best thing. What is the actual employment process, a hiring process for getting a position at Securitas? Can you go through that?
Yeah, sure. So what I would ask you to do is go to www.securitasjobs.com. When you get to the webpage, I would like for you to enter the zip code 14607. When you do that, you're going to click on the branch for 1080 University Avenue. All of upstate New York branches are located on that page. So you would click on the 1080 University Avenue page. And then if you are a vet, I would ask that you select for your position security specialty. That lets me know that you have experience either in military or security. If you have just obtained your guard license, I would ask that you click on security officer so that we would be able to go over what your qualifications are. For the vets, we do ask that you, if you are able to provide me with a DD 214 form, that is something you would probably want to bring to your interview. But once you submit your application, and I receive it, I call you within 24 to 48 hours of receiving your application. At that point, we do a phone screening to make sure that you meet the minimum requirements, which will be to have either a high school diploma or GED, and be 18 years or older. Once we get past that stage, I'll ask you a few questions and then we'll schedule a virtual interview. Due to COVID-19, we are still hiring, we are still scheduling class, but we do start the process off with a virtual interview. In the event that we do schedule a new hire paperwork appointment after our virtual interview has been completed, we then will have you come in the office, but I will do a series of questions prior to letting you in. Be mindful that if you answer yes to any of those questions, we will have to reschedule. At that point, if you are able to come in and we are able to complete our new hire paperwork, I submit your background check that day, and then we schedule you for whichever class you need. If you need the 8 and the 16, or if you just need the 16-hour on-the-job training, or if you're a one-day hire, I schedule you for those things. At this point, if you're a one-day hire, that means you have had your 8-hour pre-assignment and your 16-hour on-the-job training course, and you've received your security guard license. So the process will be different for you. At the interview, I would then send you a employment verification form and a background disclosure, so that once you fill that out, I submit your background check, and then I then explain the one-day hire process to you, because you and I will not meet as much, but we will be proceeding with hiring at a faster pace.
Wonderful. Well, Portia, I really thank you for all your time here today with us, and I hope that you and I would be able to schedule a bunch of interviews for some of our veterans here.
I'm hoping so too. I'm excited.
I think this will work out just fine. Thank you for coming, and everyone out there, we thank you for listening. We hope that you will tune into our next virtual VetNet, and that will be in a couple, 3